INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to INC Radio Florida. And today is another bright and sunny day here in Tampa. I'm one of your hosts this morning, Brother Robert Topalis, coming to you from here in Tampa, Florida. And today, of course, is Saturday, February 10th. It's about 5 minutes after 11 in the morning here on the East Coast of the United States, which means that it's 5 minutes after midnight there in the Philippines. So we're so very grateful that you guys have stayed up late to watch us. And you're going to be glad that you did, because today we've got a very special program to talk about a topic that we've actually got a lot of requests for. So we're going to be coming to that here in just a minute. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead and toss this over to Brother Jim up there in Pensacola so we can have some of our international greetings for our international audience. I think he has a special guest up there with him. Morning, Brother Jim.
Good morning, Brother Robert. Yes, I have a special guest, my better half, my lovely wife, Sister Moore. And of course, thank you all for joining us. Buenos dias, buenas noches. And take it away.
And hello, maayong buntag sa tanan nananaw sa Cagayan de Oro, sa tanan mga Kabisayaan. Maayong gabi, maayong buntag, magandang gabi sa lahat na nanonood, mga kapatid sa buong mundo. Welcome to INC Radio.
Now, Brother Jim, are you telling me you couldn't do that?
Never. We are.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much. Welcome to the show, Sister Moore. We can't wait to hear from you. But of course, the show like this can't be produced without a lot of help from many people. So we're going to go to Sister Audrey for our acknowledgments.
Thank you so much, Brother Robert, and for everyone joining us on INC Radio Florida. This is Sister Audrey Topalis coming to you from Tampa. And we're experiencing beautiful warm weather, so get ready for that spring. I'm pretty sure it should be consistent throughout this week. So anyone that was fearing this up and down of Florida weather and winter/spring transition, don't worry. We're going to have warmer weather coming to us soon. But of course, we cannot continue on with this show without first acknowledging and giving our warm greetings to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, our Subsea CEO and CFO Coordinator, Brother Angelo Aranyo Manalo, our Station Manager, Brother Arnel Solano, and our Executive Producer, Brother Manley and Diane. Here in the home front of our beautiful District of Florida, we'd like to extend our warm greetings to our District Minister, Brother Marlon Balason, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Carlitos Medina, and our CFO Overseer, Brother Mark Bernal. And over there in the Philippines, Tech, thank you so much for staying up late with us, supporting us on INC Radio Florida. We know it is late in the evening there, so we hope that you also have your mug of coffee or choice of beverage there. But to continue to stay connected, toss it over to my dear Sister Cherise there in the Panhandle. Hi, Sister Cherise.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Yes, to stay connected, because we want all of our amazing viewers to stay connected with us. We just love all of you so much. www.iglesianicristo.net/INC Radio. You can also YouTube search INC Radio and then click on the Live Now button. Also, when you go on YouTube search in INC Radio and you go to the page on YouTube, there's a little link there that says Notify Me. So if you wake up early in the morning and it's not yet time for our show, just click the Notify Me button under INC Radio Florida. And in that way, when our episode comes up, then you're automatically tuned into us. And you can also make sure you download the official INC Radio mobile app for Android and iOS devices. I have it on my phone. I hope you all have it on yours. That way we're always connected with all of our amazing viewers, because we love all of you. And we're so excited every morning, every Saturday, to be able to tune in with you guys and do our INC Radio presentation. And so let's kick it over to Sister Joy in Orlando, who is going to talk to us about CFO in action. Sister Joy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Sister Cherise. Thank you for that. Yes, please definitely stay connected, y'all. Make sure you download that app. It's really important. Here in Orlando, it is partly sunny, so we're looking forward to further on in the day. It's going to get more sunny, just like Sister Audrey mentioned. I think Florida is really going to be the Sunshine State today. So looking forward to that. Now, y'all, I'm so excited to share with you that here in the District of Florida, we've had just such an uplifting activity just this past week. It's very near and dear my heart. I know to many of you too. We had a choir, a special choir gathering just last week. And this is just, it was just such a beautiful experience, because with these special gatherings, these are designed for officers in the church or special or specific departments. So there's a service, and then there's a gathering afterwards where we can all, everyone from the district is able to gather together. So this was just such a wonderful opportunity. And for those of you who do not have an office yet, we are encouraging you. There's just so much fulfillment in this, so much connection that we can get with our mighty God, and it's just such a beautiful experience. Another thing that we also had, with our special gathering for the choir, we also had a very special, exclusive evangelical mission last night, and this was led by our CESB CEO and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo. So we were really blessed to have this in our district. I know some of you are even tuning in who are our guests last night and very curious about our INC radio. So thank you for tuning in. We're really excited to have you all here. And for those of you who are just tuning in, CFO stands for Christian Family Organization. And this department has been designed to help protect, to preserve, and strengthen all the families in the Church of Christ. And it's very timely, because here on our show, we're going to be talking about the family as a unit, right? Specifically, the Buklud organization, which is the married members, which is a literal translation for Buklud. Or I'm sorry, the literal translation for Buklud is to bond or to bind. So we're going to learn more about that, and let's talk about, and let's dive into our topic today. So Brother Robert, take us away.
Hey, good morning, Sister Joy. Thank you so much for that introduction. And yes, today we are going to be talking about a topic that we've actually gotten a lot of requests for from our viewing audience, and that is about relationships, and specifically about relationships where there may be an age gap between the two. There are a lot of preconceived notions, maybe some stigma that follows a lot of relationships where you do have an age gap. And we're finding that as we get older in the relationships, that those age gaps start to really kind of reduce. And we're going to talk about that specifically today with a couple of folks that we've got. We have actually two couples here. One of them happens to be one of our own beloved hosts, Brother Jim and his lovely wife. And we also have a couple that's joining us here from the congregation of Tampa. I'd like to go ahead and have them introduce themselves. So Sister Justine and Brother Shane, would you mind introducing yourselves to our viewers?
Sure. My name is Brother Shane Quas. I'm from the congregation of Tampa.
And I'm Sister Justine Quas from the congregation of Tampa as well.
Awesome. And how long have you guys been married?
It'll be 4 years in June.
In June. So you guys are just a little bit past that honeymoon phase, right? We're still in it.
Yes.
Still in it.
Still in it.
And do you guys have any kids?
Yes, we have a 3-year-old.
About to be 3-year-old.
Yeah, well, about to be 3. She's 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, making that leap. Awesome. Okay, great. All right. Well, we'll get back to you guys in just a second. Brother Jim, I know that we've met her before, but we always love it when you introduce Sister Moore. Please go ahead and introduce your wife.
Sure. This is my lovely wife, Sister Moore. Say something to the people.
Hello, everyone. It's me again. Welcome back.
We're just going to make you a regular here, Sister Moore. I mean, we love having you on here. So how long have you guys been married, Brother Jim?
We've been married for 7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Yeah.
And we've had the pleasure of meeting the younger half of your family, but could you tell us a little bit about your son again?
Sure. We've been married for 7 years, and our son is Luke, and he is 4 years old. He'll be 5 very soon. If you hear in the background during the broadcast something related to monster trucks, it's probably from my son, who fancies himself an announcer.
He's working on that career path early. Right?
He's getting that influence from INC Radio.
That's right. Put a microphone in front of him. Let's see. So, well, and thank you guys for joining. And today is a topic specifically focusing on relationships where there could be an age gap. So, of course, we've got to ask Brother Jim, Sister Moore, how far is that age gap for the two of you?
Well,
9 years.
not yet. 9 years.
9 years po.
Oh,
9
do you guys have to check with each other, or is it?
Yes,
Sure.
I was going to say something along the lines that 9 in real years, sometimes 20 in other years.
Generational
Oh
years, right? When you're
dear,
talking
we're gonna have to dive into that one now.
Yeah.
All right, great. Well, we're going to come to you with some questions that Sister Joy's got prepared. But Brother Shane, Sister Justine, we're curious, what's the difference in age between the two of you?
26 years.
26 years.
All right.
But really, it's like 10 years thinking about it. But
Is that
really,
because you're saying that Brother Shane's just a big kid at heart? Is that the?
Well, it's funny.
he's not really that old? He's pretty young at heart and spirit. So it really makes
That's what
us fun.
matters.
Yeah.
We forget a lot. So a lot of times it's no years.
Yes,
A lot
that
of
is
times it's no
true.
years. So it's a funny thing we didn't expect is that we just often forget.
Yes, unless we're like trying to crush each other at a workout, then Brother Shane kicks my butt at running. But I could do more burpees than him, so it evens out.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, it sounds like we've got a competition when it comes to working out here. We're going to find out and dig a little deeper into that. But, one of the first questions, I'm going to toss this over to Brother Jim and Sister Amore. What was it that initially, I'm actually going to ask Sister Amore since, I'm assuming that, in this relationship, one of you was initially attracted to the other, if not both. But what was it that initially attracted you to Brother Jim, Sister Amore?
Yes, brother. I'm attracted first on his sense of humor, his smile, his eyes. He's being so sweet, and his cooking pot. And then
Oh, man. I thought cooking would be much higher on that list.
He's got beautiful smile too. And then the outdoors, and then he is young at heart as well as just like sister Shane said. Yeah, he's young like me. The way he do things like, oh wow.
That's such a nice way to say immature.
Oh,
Well, I got to ask then, same question, Sister Justine. What was it that attracted you to Brother Shane?
So Brother Shane, I really like.
And you
the
can't
fact
say
that
cooking, by the way. You can't say cooking.
Well, that's one of them. He's really such a great cook. He's such a great cook. But before that, he's like very charismatic. He's charming. He's funny. He can talk to me all day. We talk to each other. We listen. It's really nice. Because I talk a lot and he talks a lot, so it evens out.
I like that.
And he's really funny. So yeah, and he's so nice and really sweet, but a really great cook. I promise.
Those are all amazing qualities. I feel like each brother, like when they were like, I want to sell this, I'm going to lock it in. So they're like, I'm going to cook an amazing meal. Like, I feel like Brother Jim, if you don't tell me that you cooked your turkey for Sister Amore and that's what locked her in, then I don't. She's like, here's a turkey. And then she was like, I'm yours forever. I feel like that's how that went.
So I'm sure we'll have a lot of listeners wanting to watch our turkey cooking episode.
Which you can still find in the archives of INCRadio Florida.
Yep, just YouTube search it.
It's so nice to hear your different perspective, and we're hearing all these wonderful things that you guys were attracted to. So what kind of like challenges? Let's start off with let's start off with you, Brother Jim and Sister Moore. Like, what kind of challenges? Because yes, these are things that attracted you guys to, and I got a secret, guys. I'm interested to hear your perspective, but it's not really a secret. But Brother Billy and I, we also have an age gap. We're 10 years. And yeah.
But Brother Jim Brother Billy looks like he's only like 22.
I know, right? I know, right? I look like I'm 22. No, but I mean, he totally is. I think I'm rubbing off on him, but he's hitting 50. I don't even know if he wanted me to say that. I'm sorry, but he
It's in the air. It's never going away. It's on.
rewind. How old is he? Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to hear what are some of the challenges for both couples. What were some of the things that you guys experienced when it comes to family or even just the age gap in general?
Yeah.
I would like to for us we've been challenged to work out more, do more workout, and then eat healthy food and do healthy lifestyle, be more active in church or be more active in our worship service. And how about you, brothers?
Yeah. Well, what's funny, she's like the challenges, and with eating healthy. What's funny was I always kind of did eat healthy. She's the one that was like a teenager, right? She didn't she wanted to eat the junk food
Yeah,
all the
before.
time. But I think like the challenge, and I know any couple that has an age gap, there are people who will kind of question, why we're together, and I think she had a lot of friends we that really they kind of read me the right act. They were really concerned about my my intentions, what why and everything
That
else.
might be a major concern, right? Making sure that your attention will always be present. Can you always be
Yeah.
present? Are you gonna?
Great. So what? Well, and then I guess the same question with Brother Shane and Sister Justine. There's always, we talked about at the beginning of the show, that there's always these preconceived notions or sort of this stigma about relationships being between people with such a large gap in age, or even any gap in age, is that there's going to be too many differences in interests, too many differences in where you are in your life and your career and all of that other stuff. Did you guys have any unique challenges or things that you had to kind of navigate?
My best friend said, "What do you guys talk about?" Because this friend, my best friend, we've been friends since we were 12, right? And known me my whole life. And he goes, "Oh my God, what do you guys even talk about?" And everything. We talk about everything all the time, incessantly. It's funny, like when we first met, we were working together. I was on a project where she worked, and she called me one day. She just called me, and we talked for like 3 hours on the phone, and that's how I was sold, right?
You
And
found
so,
somebody that could stay on the phone as long as you? Is that what it
yeah,
was?
yeah.
Yeah.
I make my living on the phone, right? And so, I mean, really, people sometimes are put off. They'll prejudge us, right? It's funny. We'll sit down in a restaurant, and the waiter or waitress will be a little bit off put. They'll make an assumption. We're in Florida, so that you have the retired people, and then, but by the end of the meal, they're friends with us, and they've gotten to know. And once they see that we're real, right, that we'll bicker over some entree, or they see that we're a real couple. Um, and, and with her family, like her parents especially had some challenges, right?
Yes.
But we overcame that with time. We courted during COVID, and so we literally potted up with her mom and dad, and we spent months going over there. Going over there every day, spending
And they
lots
would
of time
talk, and he was interrogated all the time. I felt really bad. I felt really bad. So, it's really good that, like, at first we're very off-putting, but once you really get to know us and see our chemistry, they're like, "Oh,
with them.
okay,"
Yeah,
and then it dies down, and then they're our biggest fans after that.
yeah.
So yeah.
It's funny. We'll travel a lot, and our average hotel stay is like 3 days. And when we're checking in, people are off put, but when we're checking out, everybody's friends with us in the hotel. It's funny.
It is.
I think her dad's only big disappointment is I'm not a golfer. He just can't believe that I hate golf.
It,
Yes.
it is never
So he's
too
got to
late
get
to
over
start playing golf, Brother Shane. That's
he really wants me to be his golf buddy, and I'm like, nah.
One thing I love that you mentioned for the Quas couple is that you experience these challenges, right? And of course, because family is the core for us, it's very important. And even though you guys went through these challenges, at the end of the day, our Christian values are what hold us together, right? But you were able to work that out, and look at you now, and then you see, and your family is very close. And and one thing that I think all of us here can say is that our Christian values inside the Church of Christ are what help hold us stay focused. And, and even though, there's this age gap, those things do bring us together. And like you guys said, I mean, it just puts like such a warm feeling in my heart. Yes, I mean, there's an age gap, number one. Yes, there might be these family challenges. Oh, okay, we might be judged for this, but ultimately at the end of the day, if you're staying focused on what these are our true values, this is what we're going to work out. Family is still close. Got to work on them golfing skills, right?
No,
Brother Shane.
that's not gonna.
We'll travel with them.
No, but that's the fun. That's definitely the fun in it. So
I mean,
it's good to see.
I have gone, just for the record, I have gone and played golf with him twice.
Twice.
That's probably another show we've got to learn about, because I think the only golf I know is like, does that count? Putt golf? Does that
Yeah, I
count?
was going to say there's
think
plenty of
so.
putt golf places here.
But anyway,
Well,
we'll get past it.
So now one interesting thing is that both of you couples, despite the gap in age, have young children. Relatively young children, both under the age of 5, right? I think actually under the age of 4, both of them at this point. How have you found that has that been something that's helped or hindered sort of the getting to know each other part of that relationship? I'll start that with you, Brother Jim.
Yeah, I think it's definitely helped. What made me laugh, because I know Brother Shane I don't know, I get it all the time around here, is anytime I go with Luke, it's basically like, oh, look at you, you're helping your grandpa.
I don't mean to laugh, but
So it's like that. So I think you have to have kind of a sense of humor with it, but I think having a kid, I think at any age, it's a challenge, with couples. But I will say this, and I'm thinking about when I was younger, I'm probably a much better husband and father, just because I appreciate the time more. Maybe because I'm getting closer to my end of time, but I I really do feel that I have a lot more patience, and I'm not naturally a patient person. But I do have a lot more patience, and I appreciate the time just hanging out with my wife and my son more than when I was young, that I wanted to be out running around and hanging with my buddies and things like that.
What about you?
Go ahead. I do. I was just going to. I don't feel like I'm missing out, right? I feel like I was probably missing out before and didn't realize it.
Definitely, I'm a much better father now than I would have been at 25. I think I'm much more focused, and plus our daughter Maddie, she has this great spectrum of music that she can love all this music she gets exposed to, right, from Justine's music to my music, and so.
Well, I was going to say, and for Brother Jim, I know for you, this gives you the opportunity to kind of revert back to, being a child like Luke, because then you get to go to the monster truck shows. You get to do a lot of the, things that are just uber fascinating to him, right?
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed to say that there's a number of Lego sets that I've already kind of pre-bought, just so I want to play with my son, but they're a little too complex yet. but I'm eager to do those things, and yeah, I get to relive my childhood, from what I can remember of it. But it's still great.
Well, we've got a couple minutes left, and I do want to ask 2 very specific questions. We'll start with Brother Shane and Sister Justine. What ways has this gap in your relationship really enriched your lives or your perspectives as individuals?
Well, it keeps me fresh. For example, I traveled most of my career, and I pretty much decided to not have kids when I was in my mid 30s. And when we were talking about getting married, and this is part about the age gap, right? You have to spend a lot of time talking with the family and together about what are your goals, what are you trying to do. She said very early on, well, hey, I want to have kids. And I was like, oh, I had never thought of that. But it was a great, like a light went off, right? And so Maddie keeps me fresh. I mean, I get up in the morning excited, and we're playing blocks and getting ready for school. And I walk her to school and walk her home from school, and I love that. And so I think that freshness is what it brings for me. And I'm a tech guy, and so Justine helps me stay fresh on the technology at work. People are like, "Man, Shane, how do you know about all this?" I'm like, "Oh, I have a secret on how I know about all the technology that the young people are in." It's funny. So
That's
she's
fantastic.
got a little bit of a cough, so she's not talking too much.
Oh,
this
and then
morning, so.
for me, I'd say like I think like his over experience and my not really inexperience and stuff really helps us. It balances us out. Um because I really like sales, and he can like show me a path because he's already been through it. So I don't have to live through what he's gone through. I could just go off of like his like his accomplishments and go that route instead of me going and failing the same way he did, you know. So it's really
Awesome.
nice. So it's like a nice guidance too, like with career wise as well too. So it's
That's
nice.
fantastic. All right. Well, and Brother Jim, down to the last minute for you and Sister O'More, how have you each individually had your lives improved or enriched as a result of your relationship with each other?
For me, I'm so thankful and for having a complete family, a son and a good husband. Thankful to God for having them, and so blessed. And then it helps me become more like real parents and serious to be in life more. How about you, man?
Yeah. I think having a young son and having a young family, and us being together, it completely broke that magnetic pull that I find in my lazy boy. Right? If that it's so easy as you get older to just sit back, and just there's so many things I want to do, and there's people will ask me about watching something, and having a 4-year old and having a wife that's very energetic. I'm like, I watched it, but I can't remember anything about it because I was always talking. I was talking with her. I was playing with Luke. So it's
Oh man, those are fantastic answers. And I think, advice obviously to those that are looking at getting into a relationship with someone who there might be an age gap. Watching this show today, I think should answer a lot of those questions that, they work. They work. And these two couples that we have today are a great example of why they work. We'd love to hear more. So please throw into the chats any questions you have for our couples. We'll try to get those answers back over to you. We'd love to have them both back on our show again. But as we all know, INC Radio Florida is the fastest 30 minutes on radio. So we are down to the bottom of the hour, a little over, in fact. But we want you to stay tuned because coming up right after this is INC Radio Caribbean. But before we go, we'd like to say thank you to both our guests, to Brother Shane, Sister Justine, Sister Amore, of course, and Brother Jim. But this is Brother Robert coming to you from here in Tampa, Florida, for Sister Joy that's there in Orlando, Brother Jim and Sister Amore there in Pensacola, Sister Charisse that's also there in Pensacola, Sister Audrey who's there in Tampa, Sister Maricel there in Tampa, and of course to Brother Shane and Sister Justine here in Tampa as well. We want to thank you all for joining us today on INC Radio Florida. Please stay tuned and have a blessed day. We'll see you next week.